Hello all, welcome back. So in our previous video we created a composer environment. Okay, so we created this composer environment, the test composer, and we just had a walkthrough on our Airflow component. So this is our Airflow UI and this is the default Airflow monitoring DAG. Now in this video we are going to create our own DAG. So we'll just start with the basic DAGs and then we'll move ahead in further videos with the complex DAGs and complex data pipelines. Okay, so this is just for the beginners where we'll start with the basic. We'll try to understand how we can create the DAG, what are the operators in Airflow, and how we can use these operators. Okay, so let's get started. So first we'll see how we can create a DAG in Google Cloud Composer or Airflow. So here we'll see how to create a DAG in a Google Cloud Composer. So creating DAG is having a simple steps. So first you have to use the Apache Airflow operators based on our use case, based on our requirement. So here you can see the operators which are related to a Google Cloud, but you can use any operator. If you are working with the AWS, you can use the AWS operator. If you are working with the GitHub repo, or you are working with the Python, or you are working with the bash command, you can use all these operators, and using this operator you can create a DAG. You can define a dependencies between the tasks, and the DAG definition file, which can be any name you can give. Let's say suppose you have given the dag.py, and that file you have to upload to the storage bucket, and if all the syntax are correct, then your file will be uploaded to the DAG and processed by DAG processor, and then it will be available as a DAG on a Airflow server or Airflow web server. Okay, so you can see here the Cloud Composer will do DAG parsing, scheduling, execution, error handling, retries, monitoring, and logging. But basic steps to take DAG is define the operators, create the task, define the dependencies, and once your dag.py or your py file is ready, you can just upload that file to the cloud storage bucket in the DAG folder. Now in terms of a Cloud Composer, we are uploading it to the storage bucket. But if you are using the Airflow on the VM instance or on the Linux servers, you will have the DAG folder there on the servers. You have to upload the file into the DAG folder. Okay. If you are not sure what is your DAG folder, what is the path of your DAG folder, you can get it in airflow.config file. There the exact part of your DAG folder is defined. Okay, you can refer my previous videos on how to install and deploy Airflow on a Linux VM. There I had clearly mentioned how we can use Airflow on the virtual machine. Okay, so this was just a basic step, but now we'll see one more step ahead, what is a Airflow operators. Okay, so Airflow operators, these Airflow operators are like worker or middleman that does specific task in Airflow DAG. Okay, tells Airflow what needs to be done, such as running Python script, executing SQL query, or transferring data between the cloud services. Okay, so this is just like an for automation process. So let's say suppose if I want to execute some Python script, I can use a Python operator. If I want to use some shell command, I can use the bash operator. If I want to execute some SQL query on the MySQL database, I can use a MySQL operator. I can use Google Cloud operators, that can be a Google Cloud Storage to BigQuery operator, which will move data from GCS to BigQuery. So if I am doing it with the plain Python, it will be having a bit long code where I have to get the data from storage bucket and load into the BigQuery. But if we are using the operators, this is kind of the predefined code template. We can just pass some parameters, pass the BigQuery table, pass the GCS bucket and file name, and the small block of code which is operators, using the operators can do our operations. Okay, so we'll go to the, so using operator you can create task, and combining the multiple tasks you can create a data pipeline. So that is the basic about operator. So each of these providers will have operator. If you are working with the Google Cloud, there will be a Google Cloud operator. So let me go to the Airflow documentation and I will show you few operators there. So I am on the Airflow operators page, and you can see there are like HTTP operator, email operator, bash operator, Python operator. If I want to show you Airflow AWS operator, you will see Airflow AWS operators, which works with the multiple AWS service. You can see for each service it is having the operators. Similarly, you can see for Airflow GCP operators. So for Airflow Google Cloud also you will see a multiple operators for each of the service, and using this operator you can create your data pipelines. Okay, so we'll start with the basics. You can start with the maybe a Python operator or ping, I mean HTTP operators, and we'll create our first DAG. So let me just open my VS Code, and from there we'll start creating our first DAG. Now I'm in my VS Code, so this is my Airflow folder. So I'll just start creating with the basic DAG. So I'll create one file here. So all DAGs are written in Python, so name should be .py. So I'll just give a basic dag.py. Okay, and here, so now you can either use a copilot, or I'm having copilot, but yeah, I will not use it as it is. So I'll just start with the basics how we can create the DAG. Now we already have one reference here. We already having existing Airflow monitoring DAG, so we can just take the basic syntax from the DAG. So if you go to this DAG, you will see the Python code here for this DAG. Okay, so I'll just copy this basic syntax. Okay, so I'll just copy this basic syntax. Okay, and I'll just paste in my VS Code. Okay, but now I want a new DAG, so I'll just give name as my basic DAG. Okay, so what things I need to change? So most of the things I will keep as it is. Okay, so description I will give as my basic DAG. Okay, scheduler frequency, yeah, you can give every 10 minutes, or it's up to you. Diagram timeout, you can give 10 minutes. So these are not mandatory, not all things are mandatory, so you can remove. So these things are also not mandatory, I can just remove. And here you can see this is using the bash operators. Okay, so this DAG is using the bash operator, and it is just trying to run the echo command. Okay, so we can keep this task as it is, and what we'll do, we'll just create one more task with the Python operator. So how we can use the Python operator? So here you can see it's already imported the bash operator. So similarly we can try to import the Python operator. So how we can import? So we can just write from airflow dot operators dot python. Okay, and then you can import Python operator. Okay, so if you want this auto suggestion, you can just use the extension. You can install the Airflow extension from here. So if I go to the Airflow, you can just get the Airflow extensions. You can install any of the Airflow extensions. So I install this one, or you can have the Copilot as well. So you will get the code as well as extensions, and less on the development effort will be there. And now how to use the Python operator? So what I will do here, I'll just create a simple Python function. Okay, so what function I will create? I will just create the, I want to print hello world. Okay, and okay, this will be my Python function. And now I want to create one task for this executing this Python function. So this will be done using the operator. So here this is the T1 is the one task. I will create one more task. So let's suppose hello world Python operators. Okay, and how it can be done? So you can see auto suggestion is already there, so I will use as it is task id hello world and Python callable. So this should be your function name. Hello world should be your function name. Okay, so function name is here. Now you can see I am having two tasks. This is my hello world using Python operators. What I can do, I'll just give name as a bash operator. Okay, and for this I will just give name as a Python operator. So it is just easy to understand. Now what I will do, so how to create this DAG? So our DAG definition file is now ready. Okay, so we created one Python function, and we created one task to execute our Python function. Okay, so how to create the DAG in Composer? Now what to do with this Python file? Okay, so you have to go with the Cloud Composer, and there you will see a DAGs folder here. Okay, so you can go to this DAGs folder. It will take you to the one of the GCS bucket which is created while environment creation of composer, and you have to simply upload your file there. So if syntax is correct, you will see your DAG there. So let's say suppose I'll go to my location. So my location was, I'll go to Google Cloud Airflow basic dag.py, and I will upload my file here. Now one thing to remember, once you uploaded your file here, it will take hardly 1 minute and sometimes 2 minutes as well to reflect your DAG here. And if there is any error, you will see the error in DAG as well. So now I uploaded the file here. So basic dag.py file is here, so it will take hardly 1 minute to see your DAG here. And what will be my DAG name now? So it's not the file name, it should be the name you define here. Okay, so it should be a basic underscore dag would be my DAG name. So let's wait for a couple of minutes and then you will see DAG here. Okay, so I'll just pause video for minute and then I will unpause it. We'll refresh and see if our DAG is there. It's still not here. We still not see any error as well. Let's wait for a couple of more minutes. Yeah, okay. So it is here and you can see it's completed as well. Okay, so you can see this view as well here and one graph view as well. So, okay. So as we scheduled for every 10 minutes it is executing, but let's say suppose I want to trigger it manually. You can simply go to the DAGs, okay, basic DAGs, and you can manually trigger using this trigger DAG button. Okay, so what I will do, I will trigger manually now, and both the DAG will turn into green, like both the tasks. So these are the single task. First is my bash operator, another is my Python operators. Okay, so both are in queued status and within few seconds it will start executing and complete. Okay, it's completed immediately, but how we can check the logs? So for echo operators we'll go to the logs. Okay, and you can see it is as it is printing the test command, and another should print the hello world. This is the Python operators. Okay, hello world, it is printing the hello world. Now both are working fine, but what I want these are currently parallelly executing. So let's say suppose I want to execute this echo first and then hello world. So how we can do that? Okay, so first thing, let's say we are having task id echo. Here also we can just give as a bash operator, or we can give as task 1 should execute first, and then we will give task 2 should execute second, or we can just give small task 1 and task 2, and then I have to add a dependency between two. It means the first I need to execute bash, and if it's successful then only it will execute the Python operator. So here you can define the dependencies. So how we can define the dependencies? So using this double arrow. Okay, so first it will execute bash and then it will execute a Python operator. So in this way you will define the dependency. If you are not giving the dependency, it will just show as the parallel execution and both will execute at the same time. Now let's say suppose I want to stop the DAG. So simply you can just disable it, so it will not run every 10 minutes. Okay, and if you don't want to give any frequency and want to keep the manual scheduling, so you can do as well. So what I will do, I will keep this basic DAG and maybe I will create a new one. So I will just create basic DAG and with dependency. Okay, I'll just give depend.py. So here I am giving the dependency. Okay, and this DAG I will remove the dependency, and now I will upload both the file again. Okay, so this is without dependency and this is with the dependency. So here I will just remove the schedule as well. Okay, so I'll just remove the schedule as well, and the name I have to change basic DAG with dependency. Okay, I'm just giving the name, and let's try to upload both the DAG now. So how to upload? Again, just upload your file into this location. So now I am updating the existing DAG as well as adding the new DAG. So there will be two DAGs. So I'll upload both the files, and then again I will wait for. So you have to override because you made the changes. Okay, so now again I have to wait for around 1 minute to reflect your DAG here. So I'll just pause video again for 1 minute and then we'll see again. Now I will refresh again, so we should see our third DAG as well with dependency. Okay, let me refresh from here. Okay, now you can see we have a 3 DAG now. So let's open this DAG now first, our existing DAG, and then the second DAG. So see the difference now. Okay, so first DAG, this is having the parallel execution, bash operator, Python operator. If I trigger, both will run parallelly. Okay, so you will see both will run parallelly, both are in queued, and immediately both will succeed. And if I go to the this DAG, you will see these are not parallel, these are sequential. First task 1 will complete, and once task 1 is completed, then only task 2 will complete. If task 1 is failed, task 2 will not trigger. Okay, so let's say I will trigger this DAG now, and you will see the sequential execution. So first task 1 is running, and once that is completed, then your task 2 will execute. So that's how we can manage the dependencies in Airflow using the task. Okay, so you can see task 1 is completed, task 2 also completed, and here this is like kind of the parallel execution. It means the task 1 failed, it doesn't matter for task 2. So this is how you can mention the dependencies. Now I'm just showing you with the uh, like basic examples, but when we actually work on the data pipeline in our upcoming videos, this is useful when, let's say, suppose I am having one file in storage bucket that I have to load into the BigQuery. That one use case we will work. So there we have to first check if the file is available in the bucket in first task. File is there, then we'll trigger the second task. Which second task? That task will then load file into the query. So if the file is not available, task 1 will fail and it will not trigger the load job. So it is important to have the dependencies between all your tasks. Okay, now one more thing which is more common is to have the import error. So whenever we made any syntax error, we will get the import error here. Okay, so let's say suppose what I will do, I'll just create one more tag here. Okay, I will just import error demo.py, and I will just copy paste the same DAG, but I'll just try to uh, give the wrong import statement. Okay, I'll just any small mistake I will do. So maybe I will just remove this part. Okay, and I will just give Airflow import operator. Then maybe I will just remove this part and just small manual typo I will give. Name I will just show import error. Okay, and let's try to upload this DAG. Okay, so even though you can see error, but on the UI as well you will see a import error while once it is uploaded. Okay, so I will just upload this. I just want to show what kind of errors you will get and how you troubleshoot, because if the new person is working on the Airflow, they will just mention, okay, I uploaded the DAG, it's more than 10 minutes but I'm still not able to see the DAG. Then you can see the import error. Okay, okay, so that I uploaded, so it will be there in 1 minute. One more thing, I also want to show you dependencies like parallel or nested dependency. Let's say we have a task 1 which is dependent, we have task 2 which is dependent on task 1, and task we have again task 3 and 4 and task 5. So let's say suppose how I can explain, let me just show you. I'll just show you in the new file. Oh, sample dag.py. So let's say example, I have task 1. Okay, I have task 2, Okay, and then I have task 3, I have a task 4. So my task 2 and 3 should complete, and then only it should trigger the task 4. So task 4 is having dependency on these two. Even though task 2 is completed and task 3 failed, it should not trigger task 4. So how I implement that task 4 will be dependent on task 2 and 3. That options also we are having. I'll just try to show you. I'll again copy the basics, or maybe this example. Okay, basic DAG. I'll just paste here. I will make some changes, and I will just uh, create couple of more function. Okay, so I will just write hello world, or I'll just print like DAG started with task 1. I will just give task 2, task 3. Okay, and instead of hello world I will just give hello world 1, hello world 2, and hello world 3. Okay, now what will happen? So I am having this will be new DAG name. You can give anything. Okay, uh, okay, now first is our bash operator, then we are having hello world 1, and then I will copy this 3 times. So this will be Python operator 1, Python operator 2, Python operator 3. So this should be again calling function 2, this is calling function 3. And what kind of dependencies I want to have? So I want to have Python, my last step should be dependent on these two. Okay, so this kind of dependencies, so once you see the graph you will understand. So let me just update this DAG as well. Task ID 1 2 3 4. So once you see the graph you will understand what kind of dependencies I am trying to define here. And scheduling I will give here. So what was the scheduling here? Yeah, schedule. So I just want to define it as a none. Okay, so it will not execute. Okay, then I will just upload this DAG as well. So yeah, meanwhile we can see the import error for our previous DAG. Okay, so yeah, I'll just refresh and we should see the import error for our import error demo. Yeah, so you can see DAG import error because we made some mistake in our import error demo.py. This is invalid syntax because we manually made that mistake. So you will not see the DAG here because that DAG is already failed in the import state. So this DAG we made the mistake here. So what you can do, you can just delete the file from the bucket and then add the file again. Okay, so it will take again few seconds to go away this error, but you can correct and then you can upload. Now I am looking for the new DAG which I uploaded recently. So this name is basic DAG. I think I should have changed it because we will have two basic DAG now. Yeah, I need to upload again basic DAG with, okay, no, this is dependency. Yeah, this should be fine. So our DAG name is new DAG. So I am just waiting for new DAG to show here. So just wait for 1 minute and then we'll see the new DAG here. Let me just refresh now and let's see if our new DAG is there. Yeah, so new DAG is here. Now you will understand what kind of dependencies I was trying to add. So you can see now task 1 will execute first, and then it will trigger task 2 and 3. And once 2 and 3 both are completed, then only task 4 will complete. So if task 2 completed, task 3 fail, it will not go to task 4. So it is the both should complete, then only it will trigger the task 4. Okay, so let's see that. So I'll just trigger the DAG. Okay, and we'll see now how it will work. So it will be pretty fast, so you will just keep an eye on that. So currently it's in queued status, the bash operators. First bash operator will execute, and then you can see immediately, yeah, it succeeded because it is too fast. So we can check the logs for each, but you can see based on the dependencies how we can set the dependencies. If you want to keep the parallel, then you can add the dependencies like this, so it will be dependent on these two. So this is just like how we can add the dependencies and how we can use the operators in Airflow. Now in our next video we'll try to add the more DAGs, and we'll use Google Cloud operators and how we can work with the Google Cloud services, with the storage bucket, with the BigQuery, and few things we'll check there. Okay, so that's it for this video. Here we created few simple DAGs and we worked on operators and dependencies. So we'll see you in next video where we create a more complex DAG. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you again in a next video.